Hey, everybody. I think we are live on Facebook. Let me know as you hop in and say hey. I have a really special guest today. And you guys, I had to bring her on. She has incredible network marketing results. Her name is Dawn Sullivan. She and I partnered together in the same network marketing business. And it's been a wild ride. And I wanted you guys to hear her story and really sort of understand the place that she came from. So Dawn, tell us a little bit about you. It's so awesome to have you on.
Hey, everybody. Courtney, thanks so much for having me. It's always great to chat with you. And I feel like our stories are a little bit parallel. So I'm really excited to share this with your audience too, who may have, some of the same challenges and things that they're trying to figure out.
Right.
So I'm happy to share my story for that purpose. So just quickly about me, I've been an occupational therapist working in the healthcare field for a really long time, but at the stage of kind of burnout. And so network marketing sort of fell into my lap as a product, and I had a great product experience. I think many of us don't set out to be network marketers, but we find a product we fall in love with. We get some results. We have a few people say like, what's going on? What are you doing? And you get some. Yeah, you start sharing, right? You start sharing a little bit and you get some financial results and you sort of see the vision.
Right.
But for me, that only took me so far. And I soon realized that if I was like really going to quit my job and create income from home and create a life that I really desired, that I wasn't going to do it from helping a few people I worked with get started on the product, right?
Yeah, like that's never going to be a strategy that you can live off of, right?
Right. And it was fun. I will say that like partnering with people that I from my previous job, like that was kind of fun. We sort of had some jokes about it, and I was, get my products paid for, and and then at one point I like was able to pay my mortgage with it, and I was kind of like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right. Like what's happening?
Like how cool is this extra income that I'm barely working for, right?
Right.
Well, I think like my story is not uncommon, because then shortly after I thought that, things start to dwindle down, right? Because sometimes people only use the products for a couple months and then they stop ordering, and not everybody wants to sell it. And so I kind of quickly realized if I was going to commit to this, I needed to skill up. Right. And that's kind of how you and I met. We met in a mentoring program where we were both improving our network marketing. Well, not our network marketing skills, our marketing skills, our online marketing skills.
Yes.
Because for me, I wasn't somebody that had lots of influence. I wasn't a business person. I wasn't a networker. I had my own little world, like I think.
Yeah, I was the same before we started in this mentor program. Like, I didn't understand what this whole thing was. Like, I didn't even have a profile on Facebook, you guys.
Oh, right.
I was just like green to it all, zero influence, all of that.
Yeah. And that's how I felt. Like I was living in my own little bubble. I live in a really small town just outside of Boston, but the town I live in is small, and I don't have a huge family. And so I was limited in terms of what we call warm market, right? Yes. If somebody had ever said to me, make a list of 100 people, I think I would have gotten to like 49 and been like, I don't even know 100 people. Like, what are you talking about?
That was me too. I couldn't even get to the 100. This is not working.
Yeah. So, and actually at the time I did have a Facebook personal profile, but I didn't use it a whole lot. And what I used it for was to, pictures of my daughter, and I don't know, just nothing. Like I never thought to use it for business.
Right.
So I guess anyways, I'm telling you that part of the story because I feel like most people are at that part. Like that's how we all get started, right? There's a few percentage of people that start with a business builder and they rank up like crazy the first month, but that's not most people. And that's not our story either.
No, definitely not. No.
So after finding a program to invest myself, to invest in myself and to learn some skills, about a year ago, I actually I feel like I kind of cracked the code of this online marketing, social media marketing thing that people talk about. Attraction marketing is the term we use.
Yeah. And you guys, I want you to listen really closely to this because Dawn has some serious results, and I want her to share specifically. And I wanted you guys to hear this. Now, I want to preface it first, Dawn, before you tell the story. preface it by saying that not everybody needs to go to this particular level. This is something we spent a long time learning to make it effective, to make it work, to make it something that got results on social media. But, oh, now I do hear an echo a little bit. But really, really important to listen, because you don't need to start out this way, but wanted to tell Dawn's story.
Right. And I didn't actually start here either. So you guys are going to hear about my story from the last 12 months, but really, you know, the couple years before that, I was trying to figure things out on my own. And I'll tell you, I just had a memory pop up a couple weeks ago about a Facebook video, not even a Facebook Live, that I did in 2015, that I had like 2,000 people had viewed it, and I had a bunch of comments, and this was before I even knew that like Facebook Lives are the way that I was going to end up building my business. So I was tripping along, trying to figure things out for a long time, on my own. And then I got some mentoring that helped me with the direction that I wanted to go. And for me, that was the social media marketing. So last summer, a lot of people that follow me know this. Last summer, I actually changed network marketing companies because I wanted to partner with a company that was supportive of me growing online. And come to find out, not all companies are supportive of their distributors growing online.
Yeah, that's true.
Come to find out, I actually had no idea. That's how naive I was about this business. So I actually partnered with a team and a company that is very supportive of that method. And so I started to put together some Facebook posts and Facebook Lives. I started to grow my audience. It all starts with growing your audience. I would say like 75% of my success is because I had put time into building an audience, which means I showed up. People knew that I was a flesh and blood real person. People knew my values and my mission. I turn some people off and I attract other people. And that's what you want to do when you're using social media. Not everybody is your prospect.
Not at all.
Yeah. Courtney's done some great posts about how not everybody's your prospects in the Starbucks line, right? You know, we all have that story of having awkward conversations.
We've like all been there.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's funny that we can laugh about it now because we actually have a better strategy, but we weren't laughing at the time, were we? Right?
Not at all. It was beyond painful because most of us have been there. Draw me a comment. Let me know if you've been there. Just write Starbucks if you've ever been there.
Yeah. So the other thing is when you're taught to recruit that way, you also feel guilty for not prospecting your friends and family and people in Starbucks, right? Like if you are doing it, you feel weird, but if you aren't doing it, you feel guilty, like you're supposed to be doing it, you know? I remember having those feelings anyway.
I did too.
Yeah,
because that's what they were really teaching. And then I felt like, okay, well, if those people are at the top of their company, because at the time I had joined people that were pretty close to the top, even though it took like 10 years to get there. But I felt like if they are teaching me this, then that must be the method I have to follow.
Yeah, it's so true. And there's some, you know, and who was I to second guess these, you know, 6 and 7 figures earners that were telling me what to do. So, anyhow, so thankfully I actually did start questioning it because it not only was awkward and weird, but it wasn't effective. Not for me.
No, it didn't even work.
Why am
I going through all this stuff, this pain and all this stuff? And frankly, all this money, I think I bought a $50 necklace at one place to like go talk to the lady.
Right.
So $50 a lead is not a good cost. I mean, I was doing all this stuff and I'm like, and this isn't even getting me any people to join my team.
Yeah,
that's what I experienced.
So to be honest with you, like I wanted this so badly that even if it was weird but worked, I probably would have done it, but it didn't even work. So you have to just say to yourself, okay, this isn't even working and I'm weird. So I have to figure this out.
It's like a lose-lose situation.
Right? Anyhow, but we've all been there, right? Okay,
so we've all been there. Yeah.
So once I partnered with some people that knew what they were doing and got some mentorship from some other people, I started to put some things into practice for myself, and I started to build an audience. And when you start to build an audience, you start to build influence.
Yes.
And this was influence I couldn't build in my real personal life. Right? It was influence I could only build on social media, because I couldn't get in front of these same types of people in my everyday life. I just couldn't. not with the numbers that I require to rank up in my company. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so let me stop you there. So it's a couple things. It's not just like reaching people. It's and you know this, but for the audience, it's like it's reaching the right kinds of people that might have a need or a want for this kind of opportunity. So that's the first sort of piece of it. And then using a way to reach all of those people like with one video versus one-on-one or whatever the situation is.
Yeah, so it really takes away all the steps of like sending out the invitations and booking a room and, commuting to meet somebody for a coffee, or like it takes away all those steps when you can just do one Facebook Live or a couple of posts and get in front of literally thousands of people. Right. And of those thousands of people, there might be 100 that actually believe in network marketing, believe in your mission. They actually like what you have to say and the style in which you're saying it. Because people join people, right, Courtney?
Absolutely.
Yeah, people join people. So I wanted to show up as sort of like this trustworthy girl next door. Like you can imagine me being your sister or your best friend. And I have an amazing freaking opportunity to help you get your health back on track and get you earning some residual income from the comfort of your own home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And do you think too, like, I think this is a big part of your story too, which is belief. Like, you have to believe so much, so vehemently in your opportunity that comes through when you're on live, when you're in email, like just in every and everything that you're doing in every way that you're connecting with your audience. Do you think that's critical? Because I think it's critical.
You know why it's so critical, Courtney? Because people can spot fraud and inauthenticity, is that a word? People can spot it when you're not being authentic, right? People can spot it. And when I'm not certain and I'm not in belief of what I'm, when I don't believe I have the solution for you, I'm not articulate. I don't look at you in the eye, right? Like I have, and you can tell that there's the vibe I'm giving off that I don't really believe what I'm saying. And integrity is a big deal for me. I want to be able to like believe what I'm saying. We're both East Coasters, right? We're both people who are East Coast. Like we say what we mean what we say, right?
Yeah, just be direct about it. Absolutely. Yeah. Why not?
And people can see that. They can see it whether you're doing a video or whether you're writing a post. People can see through it. And shame on anybody who doesn't think that they can sort of fake it, because it's not possible in this industry, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. And there's too many people in the social media space that are crushing it because they not only are, I think it takes a couple things. I think it takes serious consistency. So you need to be showing up every day for your audience. And it doesn't even matter how you feel about it. You just need to show up.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're sick. If you're sick, write a post instead of a live. Like you need to be consistent always to be in front of people. I think that's a big deal. And then you have to believe what you're talking about. I mean, it's just like a non-negotiable. That's what I found.
So it reminds me of a mentor that both Courtney, you and I have had, where she said to me, my not showing up was making it about me and not about the person I was needing to serve, right? Yeah. So if I don't show up on a Facebook Live or a post on a particular day because I, feel whatever, I don't have time, or I make something else a priority, there's somebody on the couch that needs to hear my message that isn't hearing it.
Right? Absolutely. That's a really good point.
I've really, really not only learned, but like integrated, like it's not about me. It's not about me. It doesn't matter if I look a little pasty right now. I'm not exactly like sun-kissed today. I'm not exactly sun-kissed today. But it's not about me. It's about who needs to hear this message. Who am I serving? And every time I don't go live because I don't feel like it, I'm making it about me.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And that actually helps me too, because we all have days where things are harder and you're like, okay, maybe this isn't working today. And you one moment of hesitation, sort of, you get in your head about it, and then you don't go live that day, and then you don't go live the next day. And the best thing you can do is just keep doing it, even if it's not working at the moment, because it may work in 6 months or whatever the case is.
So one of the other things that really helped me was, because I was consistent and congruent, even when I didn't get likes and comments, because I kept going anyway, I eventually, and I do say eventually, meaning like weeks later, I had people calling me literally credit card in hand saying, I'm not exactly sure what you're doing, but I'm ready to join you.
Wow.
And like, we've all heard that story, but I'm here today to tell you that that's true. And it's only true for me because I knew this strategy was not a one and done strategy. This is a show up, 4 or 5, 6 days a week. We're not saying you have to live on social media, but show up consistently and congruently so that the person who is on the couch that will never like or comment on your post will call you one day and say, I'm ready to join you.
Yeah, I mean, people are still seeing the content. Just because they're not engaging does not mean that they're not watching, right?
Yes.
I mean, most of us have that story where someone's reached out months later, years later, whatever the case is, because they're finally ready. They're at a place in their life where they're ready to take a step, because not everyone's ready right away.
That's right. People buy when they're ready, not when you're ready.
Right. And I think it's also a case of managing expectation. So when people start, they get really excited. They're like, okay, I put up a few attraction marketing posts and like nothing's happening. I think we both experience that where it's a consistency over time, but it's also managing the expectations about when is it going to happen? It will happen. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, so good. It's true. And it's a matter of not letting your emotions run your day, not taking things, not being so sensitive to like the comments, the lack of comments, right?
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah,
I really am guilty of that.
I think we all can be guilty of that. But it's a matter of saying, I know this works. This is a proven strategy.
Right.
It's working for my team. It's working for my upline. It's working for my downline right now. Like what we're doing right now on social media, what we're teaching right now is a proven strategy. And I'm working actually with people just like Courtney who are committed to bringing our teams what is working now on social media.
Right.
Because what's working today.
Months ago. Yeah.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. Perfect. No, I'm glad because we're just totally in sync right now. We really are committed to bringing you what's working right now and what's going to work tomorrow, not what was working yesterday, because we're creating it actually. So, that's kind of a story for another time about what the systems are our team is using, but just like to let you guys know, not every system is for everybody, but this system we're using is a proven system for many of our people.
Absolutely. And I've joined many companies and I have not had the amount of success that I'm having now. And it's because of the system and because of the leaders that are in place. Hands down, you guys. So tell me a little bit about, because I know you use Facebook ads too. And if the word Facebook ad is scary, you guys, it's okay. It's not necessarily the way you have to build or the way that we suggest to start. But because Dawn had all these skills, talk to me about what your results were and how you did that, because the results are incredible.
Yes, thank you. So it's even like, it feels sometimes like a dream to me too, that it even happened the way it did. But a year ago, July 3rd, 2018, I threw up a post like straight from my heart, like a post that I didn't ruminate about. I didn't ask 6 people to read it. I just was like, this is the post. I'm just going to throw it up there. This is what's going on with me. This is totally real about what, my business and my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it up and I'm going to connect it to a web page where people can give me their email address if they are interested.
Yes.
And then those people could then book on my calendar if they were interested. So there was a process, right? I hooked up a Facebook post to a process, and that's called a funnel. And I'm not suggesting you guys run out and make a funnel, because like I said earlier, that my funnel worked because I had already started to cultivate influence over an audience.
Yeah.
So when I threw up this post and I put it in front of the right people, I was having, anywhere between 40 and 60 people give me their email address every single day.
Wow.
I was having people comment, more information, please. People would private message me wanting more information. And I'll tell you the beauty of that in a second. But then I was having people like 20 to 25 people a week book in my calendar.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Yeah.
I would just wake up with my to-do list, because my to-do list was to talk to these 5 people today, right?
Yeah.
And so the beauty of that, of having like, so you guys heard me say I was getting about 40 to 60 people a day giving me their email address, but I was only having about 25 conversations a week. So what happened to all those other 100 people every week, right? Those are the people that saw a little bit and decided it wasn't for them. They didn't reject me. I didn't have a conversation that they said no to.
Right.
They got to a certain part of my Facebook post or my funnel and said, nah, this isn't really what I'm looking for. And they moved on. And only the people who were the most interested ended up on the phone with me.
Yeah. Which is what you want. I mean, you will always have people drop off during the process. And it's about literally like, if from an analytic perspective, like backing in the numbers, how many leads do you need? How many conversations? And then it works. If the numbers work, it'll work.
And then it works. And that's the funnel, right? Because you start with lots of people, and then some people say, no, thank you. And then more people say, no, thank you. And then more people say, no, thank you. And then what you have left with is the people that have said yes 5 or 6 times, and now they're ready to have a conversation. So, and that is not what we teach in our team. Like, what we teach is more simple things than that. But that experience that I had showed me that this is without a doubt, for me and the people that I want to bring into my company, this is like the pond we're fishing in, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's almost rejection free. I'm not going to say it's completely rejection free, but it's a way to get in front of the most amount of people that are likely to say yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, whatever message you have, your message needs to be on point about what you're doing, and you will attract the right people, and you'll get rid of the people that are never going to say yes to you. Don't even get on the, like, they will self-select themselves out. Sorry, you guys can hear my dog in the background. But yeah, I mean, they will just not bother. And that's what you want.
Yes. And that's what you want. And the number one reason you want that for yourself and for your team is because that constant rejection is why people quit, right?
Yes.
And when you're constantly, when 8 out of 10 people say no to you, it doesn't matter unless you're a robot, that hurts your feelings and you want to quit, right? Not many people are going to come back day after day after day to get rejected 80% of the time.
No, they just won't. I mean, it gets too emotionally difficult and challenging, and they just won't do it.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And then talk about taking a brick to your belief system, right? You know, you're out there, I believe in network marketing, I believe in my product, I believe in this, I believe in that, but 80% of the people won't join you, you know?
Right.
So the way to increase your odds, you know, get to 50 or 60% of the people that will join you, how great would that feel?
Yeah.
50% of your conversations were a close. How would that feel?
Yeah. And it's also not like a face-to-face rejection, right? If somebody says no on the phone and you haven't met them before, it's like you're not emotionally invested in that person. So it doesn't even feel like a full-on rejection, right? If someone subscribes to an email, you're like, okay, well, I didn't even talk to them anyway. So it doesn't feel as bad, right?
I agree with you. I think this is why I love recruiting from my cold market. I love recruiting from my cold market because I'm not going to bump into that person at the grocery store or in the pickup line at school or anywhere else and be like, oh, you're the one that rejected me, you know? Like that's never going to happen, you know? And who cares if it does happen? I mean, but still, it's not a big deal. But when you're recruiting people from all over the country or potentially the world, you're probably not going to bump into that person and have an awkward interaction.
Right. You just like let that piece of it go.
It's business.
And focus on the people that, you know, are going to say yes or not going to reject you. It's just a different thing online. So I love market stuff too.
And then you never have that commission breath when you're talking to people. You never have that desperate to close this sale because I don't know where my next lead is coming from, because the social media is full of leads. You'll never run out of leads. So you'll never feel like I have to close this sale because I don't know when I'm going to talk to somebody again.
Yeah. And it's full of leads for everybody. It's not just like, okay, well, this person has the most influence and they're a guru, so they're going to have the influence. And it's just not true.
Well, and a pro tip here for you guys that are thinking about getting started, those gurus are not necessarily the mentor you're looking for.
That is very true. Thank you for saying that, because they're not always in the trenches. they knew what worked maybe like hopefully a few years ago, maybe even more, but it's true.
And not to put anybody down, because
No.
I love people who work hard and are successful. I love it, love it, love it. And I want to follow in their footsteps. But that's not necessarily the person that has the time for me. That's gonna do a 3-way call with me. That's gonna answer a text message, in the middle of the day to help me out with something.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily somebody who knows what's working right now today. They can probably give you great foundational sales skills or other kind of foundational skills, but can they really help you with exactly what's working right now?
Yeah, I know. I agree. I mean, you need someone that you have access to and that's in the trenches right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think those things are critical in order to have success, because a lot of times too, people, even if they go into a proven system, they feel like if they don't reach out and they feel like they don't have the support, they will fall away.
It's so true, because you still can have a proven system, but you also need, you need somebody to bounce things off of. Like, I thrive in collaboration. I thrive in collaboration. I don't want to read a book or follow steps and do it by myself. I want to be like, Courtney, what do you think of this? Or how is this for a call to action? Or what do you think of this image? And like, I want that, I want that collaboration.
Yeah. And if there's like a day that's harder or like more emotional, or you need somebody to like bounce ideas off of, that is so, so important for community, for collaboration, to feel like you're in the right place, to feel like you're moving forward, even if it's a harder day. I use Dawn constantly, and she's probably so annoyed, but I do that all the time, because I say, and here's the other thing that I like about that. It's a collaborative community instead of, oh, this is my upline.
Yeah.
Right. She's above me. She's doing better. Like, there is none of that. And that's the thing I also love about it.
Yeah, I really do too. I think, we all are rising up together. It doesn't matter necessarily who we're, who's in what, line of our compensation plan. We're all rising together, and we know it's for the good of our company, the good of each other, and the good of the industry, really, to work collaboratively like that, and not, and like, yeah, I mean, I think I can actually be a very competitive person, but in this area of my life, I just thrive with collaboration. And I just practice that learn, do, teach. And we just keep going, learn, do, teach. What else can we learn? And now I'm going to do it and teach it. And we all have a different skill set. Courtney's an awesome copywriter. Awesome. And we just can learn from each other, and things that I'm not so great at, I'm going to use her for, and vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa. And there's there are a lot of these skills that they're really important. And if you have that community of people that you can bounce things off of, it just makes a massive difference. It just does.
Yeah.
So Dawn, thank you so much for being on today. Everybody who hopped on, I'm trying to see if I can see all the comments. Paul, John, thank you guys for hopping in. So appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, John.